know Bill O'Reilly does not mince words, and especially when he has an issue, as he does with Stephen Colbert and Beyonce and a few others that we will talk about. He also brings that passion to his best-selling books. His latest children's book is called The Last Days of Jesus, and I was just talking to Bill about it because he does not talk down to the kids. It's such an interesting and good book. Please welcome back Bill O'Reilly. I think this is a book that's informative to all religions and does not talk down to kids, so congratulations.
Yeah, it's a history book, though. I mean, everybody gets this mixed up. Killing Jesus.
Not a religious book.
Not a religious book, just pure history about the most famous human being who ever lived. And the adult book is pretty tough because we get into the Roman Empire and what they did, and
crucifixion.
Pretty brutal. So we had to make it, you sanitize it a little bit for the children, but we don't, as you said, very perceptively, we don't talk down to the kids. The book is, you know, 7 to 13 in that range, depending on how well the urchin can absorb information. But it's doing phenomenal.
Oh, of course.
It's phenomenal. I mean, much better than I expected it to do, so we're happy about that.
So could you be a stay-at-home dad?
Kids would run away. I don't want to have anybody to supervise, but, you know, I go out in a hammock, I guess.
Why do you think this book should be taught in all of the schools and everywhere?
You know, outside our Supreme Court building, there's a sculpture. Does anybody know the sculpture outside our Supreme? What?
The Ten Commandments.
That's right. Very good, Miss Goldberg.
Thank you, Mr.
But it's not just the Ten Commandments. It's Moses holding them. All right?
We're going to talk more about the book in the next segment, so we want to talk about some of the controversies.
But Sherri's question, just let me answer it real quickly. Moses and the Ten Commandments are outside the Supreme Court building for a reason. All right? Because our justice system is based on Judeo-Christian philosophy. That's what this is all about.
Right. Okay. So we want to talk a little bit about some of the controversy. Whoopi, you got a prize.
I just was surprised to hear you say that in terms of thinking about separation of church and state, particularly since the pilgrims came over to get away from people telling them how they should do things. They felt how they should worship and stuff. So I'm just surprised to hear you say it.
You have to draw the line between church and history. That's it.
Well, yeah, you're treating it as simply history, and it's true because you don't, in your book, you don't call him the Messiah and so on. But can I move on?
Absolutely.
Okay, fine. You and Stephen Colbert have taken a few jabs at each other. He has said that his conservative persona, which some people make fun of, is based on you. It seems to have escalated. You called him a deceiver who is damaging America. I mean, he's just a comedian. Isn't that going a little far, Bill?
Well, he's more than a comedian. I mean, he is a mouthpiece for the far left. That's what I see him. He's a mouthpiece.
Do you really think he makes that much of an impact that you worry?
Does he have an impact? That's an interesting question. Probably not that much. But look, I have a pretty good relationship with Jon Stewart. You probably all know that.
Yes.
We actually did a big show.
Yeah, you traveled together.
But Stewart's a different animal. All right, Stewart will make fun of everybody. All right, he sees things that are absurd on both sides. Not Colbert. Colbert is very committed to being a leftist. Now, the gamble that CBS is taking is that they're going away from the Johnny Carson template. All right, Carson set the standard, which was not too much politics, a little here and there, make fun of everybody, but keep it light, keep it good. All right, so everybody can enjoy it. You got Fallon, all right, and you got Kimmel. Now, in order for Colbert to succeed, he's got to be better than them. His show's got to be better. All right? Number one, that's going to be very, very tough because Kimmel and Fallon are good. I've been on both their programs. I see what they do. They're good. All right? So Colbert's going to have to come out of his little persona where he snipes, you know, and makes these little snarky remarks. All right? And he's got to be broader. That's not going to be easy for him to do. Plus, he's already alienated 40% of the country.
You really don't think conservatives will give him a chance?
No. Clearly not.
You know... I mean, will conservatives give him a chance? I think they'll sample.
Right.
Oh, good. Okay.
I think they'll sample. Why wouldn't you do it out of curiosity?
I think some people,
would
have open minds, you know.
Yeah, but if he's the same snarky guy...
If he's funny, Can't you watch someone even if you don't agree with his politics?
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's funny?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
but he's got to be funnier than the other two guys.
Well, the other thing I want to...
It's a choice. It's a choice.
I would like to ask you about Beyonce. You have been talking about Beyonce, and you've really been getting on her. Why?
Well, it started with my interview with President Obama on Super Bowl Sunday.
Okay.
All right? Where we talked about the culture and the difficulties that African-American children have and how they have to overcome them, but it's not very easy to do that. In response to that interview, the president invited me down to the announcement of the Brothers Keeper Initiative, which is a brilliant piece of, I mean, I really applaud the president for doing it. We're trying to link up business and establishments to mentor these poor children, all right? And it's great. But I also said to him, and I said this to Valerie Jarrett, as chief of staff, look, in conjunction with that, you have to do the culture. You have to attack the culture. Because if there's disrespect and horrible things going on that these children are absorbing, they're going to incorporate that.
What are you attacking in particular?
Yeah.
Beyonce's new video, have you seen it?
Yes, we have.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say
Okay, but then this is what I have to say. Beyonce has been a great role model to young girls. Her anthem has been stand up and be independent. If you listen to the lyrics, independent. She sings a song called To the Left, which says, if you cheat on me, you have to leave. She sings a song that says, if you like this, put a ring on it and marry me. Beyonce has always, you don't hear about Beyonce stumbling out of clubs. Beyonce waited until she got married. She just had a baby as a married woman. So her anthem has always been to single girls. You know what? Value yourselves. Value yourselves. Don't let a man treat you. Anyway, wait, hold on, I'm not done. And now that she's married, she has an anthem to married women. She's saying, you know what, I waited till I got married and I'm keeping my husband happy. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going, she's always had an anthem. She's always been someone that young girls could look up to. I love the fact that you're taking up for young African-American girls.
I gotta go to break, but I just want to give Bill a chance to answer.
I have nothing personal against
He
Beyonce.
said that's it, so I said, I told him what I thought of
personal
Beyonce.
against the woman. I don't think this was a wise choice. I don't think it helps girls.
What wasn't
But you're putting the weight of all African-American girls getting pregnant on Beyonce's shoulders. When she's done, that's what he's, and if you watch, I mean, listen to the lyrics of her songs. Yeah. Listen to the lyrics of her songs. She's always talking about
I'm getting in my ear, rap, rap, rap. Forgive me, darling, I gotta rap. We'll come back with Bill O'Reilly, okay? We'll be right back.
Bill O'Reilly, whose latest book is called The Last Days of Jesus. And I want to tell you really quickly, Bill, before I knew I was on the show, before I knew that you were going to be on today, Barnes & Noble last week, my 12-year-old daughter walked straight up to your book and asks to buy the book. We said, absolutely. Then 10 minutes later, we leave the store. I get home, I open my purse. Your book is in my purse. I didn't pay for the Jesus book. I didn't pay for the Jesus book.
So she bought the Jesus book.
My husband went back the next and paid for it, of course.
What would Jesus say?
What would Jesus do?
All books to steal, right? But we went back and we paid
Yeah,
for
it's
it.
not good to shoplift Jesus. That's
WWJD.
Good thing
Jesus forgives.
The beautiful thing, and I wanted to make sure I read the book before my daughter read the book, and now I'm gladly giving it to her. Was there any hesitation in your mind writing this, with going as in-depth as you did with the truth, the reality, the violence that was involved? Was there any hesitation?
No, I mean, that's what I do. I'm a historian, journalist, and whatever happens, I'm going to report.
Because of the age group, though, because of the kids.
Well, for the kids, we did sanitize out. I mean, if you read Killing Jesus, that's a tough book.
This is a different. This is not the same book.
And it's an adult
That was
book.
very
But this one is, I think, all children, and again, it doesn't matter what your religious belief is. You've got to know about the most famous human being in the world, I mean, who ever lived, and what happened to him, and why it happened, and how he became this icon. So we're proud of it, and we think it's doing a lot of good.
Did you want to do it because you were a high school teacher? You started off as a high school teacher.
That's always in my TV presentation, too. My old teaching thing, you know, it always comes in there. I want to give people information. I want them to know about their country and about the world. So that always shapes it.
There may be some people who ask, why should you just write books about Jesus why not leaders from other religions?
Well, look, I wrote Lincoln, I wrote Kennedy, I wrote Jesus, and the next one is going to be a big World War II book. Yeah. So I'm writing about things that are important to the world, and that's all. That's my canvas.
You know, we were talking about, we didn't make it to the Hot Topics table, Bill, but we were going to talk about it. There is a statue of a homeless Jesus sleeping on a bench in North Carolina, and it's causing a lot of controversy. Now, some people think that it's offensive, but then the local clergy, they say that it's a really good lesson for people to learn about Jesus, who in essence was a homeless person. You got any thoughts on that?
I don't think it's offensive. Why would it be offensive? I mean, you know, I think Pope Francis has made it quite clear that the mission of Christianity, not just the Catholic Church, is to help the poor.
That's right.
And so this symbolizes that. I think it's a creative way to get people's attention, and I'm all for it.
I have to tell you, I read the book already. The illustrations are beautiful, and I can't wait to pass it on to my daughter.
I love killing Jesus.
I do too.
Yeah, and I love the fact, though, that for kids, this is and written by somebody who can tell it a heck of a lot better than I can. Bill O'Reilly, thank you for coming. And members of the audience today, by the way, you all get a copy of Bill's book, The Last Days of Jesus.